Caporushes. Well, there once was a very rich gentleman, and he had 3 daughters, and he thought he'd see how fond they were of him. So he said to the first, "How much do you love me, my dear?" "Why," said she, "as I love my life." "That's good," said he. So he said to the second, "How much do you love me, my dear?" "Why," said she, "better than all the world." "That's good," said he. So he said to the third, "How much do you love me, my dear?" "Why, I love you as fresh meat loves salt," said she. He got angry. "You don't love me at all," said he, "and in my house you'll stay no more." So he drove her out and shut the door in her face. Well, she went away, and on, until she came to a fen, and there she gathered a lot of rushes, and made them into sort of a cloak with a hood, to cover her from head to foot and hide her fine clothes. And then she went on, until she came to a great house. "Do you want a maid?" said she. "No, we don't," said they. "I have nowhere to go," said she, "and I ask no wages, and do any sort of work." "Well," said they, "if you like to wash the pots and scrape the saucepans, you may stay." So she stayed there, and washed the pots, and scraped the saucepans, and did all the dirty work. And because she gave no name, they called her Caporushes. Well, one day there was to be a great dance a little way off, and the servants were allowed to go and look on at the grand people. Caporushes said that she was too tired to go, so she stayed at home. But when they were gone, she offed with her caporushes, and cleaned herself, and went to the dance. And no one there was as finely dressed as she. Well, who should be there but her master's son? And what should he do but fall in love with her the minute he set eyes on her? He wouldn't dance with anyone else. But before the dance was done, Caporushes slipped off, and away she went home. When the other maids came back, she was pretending to be asleep, with her caporushes on. The next morning they said to her, "You did miss a sight, Caporushes." "What was that?" said she. "Why, the most beautiful lady you ever did see, dressed right gay, and the young master, he never took his eyes off her." "Well, I should have liked to have seen her," said Caporushes. "There's to be another dance this evening, and perhaps she'll be there." But come the evening, Caporushes said she was too tired to go with them. However, when they were gone, she offed with her caporushes and cleaned herself, and away she went to the dance. The master's son had been reckoning on seeing her, and he danced with no one else, and he never took his eyes off her. But before the dance was over, she slipped off, and away home she went, and when the maids came back, she pretended to be asleep, with her caporushes on. Next day they said to her again, "Caporushes, you should have been there to see the lady. There she was again, dressed all gay, and the young master, he never took his eyes off her." "Well," said she, "I should have liked to have seen her." "Well," said they, "there's a dance again this evening. You must go with us. She's sure to be there." But come evening, Caporushes said she was just too tired to go, and do what they would, she stayed at home. As soon as they were gone, she offed her caporushes and cleaned herself, and away she went to the dance. The master's son was so glad when he saw her. He danced with none but her, and never took his eyes off her. When she wouldn't tell him her name or where she came from, he gave her a ring, and he told her that if he didn't see her again, he would die. Before the dance was over, off she slipped, and home she went, and when the maids came home, there she was, pretending to be asleep, with her caporushes on. The next day they said to her, "Caporushes, you didn't come last night, and now you won't see the lady, for there's no more dances." "Well, I really should have liked to have seen her," she said. The master's son tried every way to find out where the lady was gone, but go where he might and ask who he might, he never heard anything about her. And he got worse and worse for the love of her, until he had to keep to his bed. "Make some gruel for the young master," they said to the cook. "He's dying for love of the lady." So the cook set about making it, and Caporushes came in. "What are you doing?" she said. "I'm going to make some gruel for the young master," said the cook. "He's dying for love of the lady." "Let me make it," said Caporushes. The cook wouldn't at first, but at last she said yes, and Caporushes made the gruel. And when she had made it, she slipped the ring into it on the sly before the cook took it upstairs. The young man drank it, and then he saw the ring at the bottom of the bowl. "Send for the cook," he said. So up she came. "Who made this gruel here?" said he. "I did," said the cook, and she was frightened. The master's son looked at her. "No, you didn't," he said. "Say who did it. You shan't be harmed." "Well, then, 'twas Caporushes," said the cook. "Send Caporushes here," said he. So Caporushes came. "Did you make my gruel?" said he. "Yes, I did," said she. "Where did you get this ring?" said he. "From him who gave it me," said she. "Who are you, then?" said the young man. "I'll show you," she said, and she offed with her Caporushes, and there she was in her beautiful clothes. Well, the master's son got well very soon, and they were to be married in a little time. It was to be a very grand wedding, and everyone was asked from far and near. Caporushes' father was asked. She'd never told anybody who she was. Before the wedding, she went to the cook and said, "I want you to dress every dish without a mite of salt." "That'll be nasty," said the cook. "It doesn't matter," said Caporushes. "Very well," said the cook. Well, the wedding day came, and they were married, and after they were married, all the company sat down to dinner. When they began to eat the meat, it was so tasteless they couldn't finish it. Caporushes' father tried one dish and then another, and finally he burst out crying. "What's the matter?" the master's son said to him. "Oh," he said, "I had a daughter, and I asked her how much she loved me. She said as much as fresh meat loves salt. I turned her from my door, for I thought she didn't love me at all. But now I see she loved me best, and she may be dead for all I know." "No, father, here she is," said Caporushes, and she went up to him and put her arms around him. And so they all lived happily ever after.